Greetings, roller coaster fanatics, and welcome out to vlogs or lists, because I'm considering this a vlog, because I get to come to you guys, and finally, I know you guys have been waiting a long time, but I'm starting lists. I'm going to be jotting out my list of roller coaster countdowns. We're going to start with the top 5 best that I have ridden new roller coasters. They don't have to actually have opened in 2016, but just roller coasters that I got to ride for the first time in 2016. What were the 5 best that I rode from 5th to the best, which is number 1. And then, of course, next week I'll be doing the 5 worst that I rode from 5 to the number 1, which is the worst. And then we'll be doing other lists leading up to the top 10 amusement parks that I have been to. I am very excited. It's going to be great. We're going to have a great time leading up to those. And post this in the comments below if there's any other lists you would like me to do besides the ones I'm about to do. So, anyways, let's begin. Cue the titles, and let's begin lists. Okay guys, so I've been to a couple of amusement parks. As I'm talking, I'll put up the list right now to let you know what parks have I been to. I've been to several amusement parks, or a couple of new ones this year. I counted as several. It felt like I went to a lot more new ones, especially compared to 2015 well, technically it's 2 years ago now since it is now 2017. But just to let you know, when it comes to the best roller coaster that I have ridden, coming from those parks, including ones that I've already been to, but they have actually added a new roller coaster like Valorant. Those parks are listed to let you know that those coasters might be in this list because I rode them in 2016. So anyway, here we go. Let's start out with number 5, and that is this ride blew my mind. In fact, it blew my mind so much, I rode it 11 more times, and I actually broke a record, they said, and my name is actually up there, for the longest amount consecutive times that I have ridden Kumba at 12. It's not a lot, but oh, hey, it works for me. They actually allowed me to do it. There's nobody in line, so I just stayed and kept going for 12 times. And yes, I might have had a headache afterwards because this thing pulls tons of G's. Like, wow. It was amazing. I love this ride. I wish other B&M coasters, when it comes to looping roller coasters, were like Kumba. Because Kumba is awesome. Oh, I want to go back to Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay now. So, number 4 is this has got to be the best GCI ever. I have not ridden all GCIs, I'll say that, but this GCI blew my mind. Yes, it's a little bit rough, but it doesn't matter. This thing is insane. It is so intense. The airtime is nuts. I was out of my seat several times, including back row. This was the first time that I've ever been on a GCI where it had a great front row and back row. Most GCIs I've been to, like White Lightning, Lightning Racer, they have good front rows, but not so great back rows. So that's what I really loved about Thunderhead. So really, it was a full, complete experience, and it was great. Coming in at number 3 is the best B&M Hyper. Boy, was this a highlight of the century. Oh my gosh, this ride was fantastic. Oh my gosh, this thing pops airtime like nothing. That first turn is incredible. And it is the first time ever where I actually went on a wing seat of a B&M. And I did not feel a rattle. And I felt like I was flying through the air. And it was great. I love the airtime, the turns, going over the water was a neat feature. And overall, this roller coaster was phenomenal. I mean, the only thing you can really complain about is that it slows too much on the brake run, or the mid-course brake run, excuse me. But two, on its defense, on the bank turn towards the end, because you're going slow, it feels like you're gonna fall out of your seat. You're just hanging there. You get some great hang time, and it is great. I love this ride. Best at SeaWorld. Coming in at number 2 is... I already missed this ride. This was the most surprising ride I've ever ridden. I've heard stuff about this. I've heard stories. I've heard this being such a great ride. When I first looked up to it, I'm like, this can't be that good. This literally looks like a mini Grizzly. It does not look like a ride that I'm just going to be like, oh my gosh, that was great. I was totally wrong. Oh my gosh, this thing is great. When I first sat down and realized that there was no seatbelt and just the lap bar, but the old one that goes down like this and not to your leg, I was ready for the ride of my life, and it blew my mind. I actually got off and I was shaking, and I sat down to contemplate what I just rode, and then I rode it again and again and again. I will say though, back ride, it's fine, but front row, it is heaven. This thing pulls so much airtime. You literally are standing on this ride when it comes to the airtime. It is phenomenal. So, finally, coming in at number 1 is... Oh my gosh. This ride blew my mind. I mean, I was pumped for my life when I heard that this thing was opening at Lagoon. And then a year later, I got to go ride it. And the entire time, just waiting in line and getting ready to ride it, I was shaking. I was just like, this thing is going to be phenomenal. I remember looking up and seeing the elevator portion of the ride, and I was so pumped. I was like, this is going to be great. And I like how it stops right before your 116 degree, 205 foot drop. And you can't even see the drop, you're just there. And you just see the small, tiny little implement. And then you look out and you see the mountains and the highway. And then the wheels start turning. And the ride falls. And it makes Fury's drop make it short. I mean, this drop lasts forever. And you're going under yourself. It lasts so long, and I am out of my seat. I've never felt so much hang time on a drop before. The only other coasters that really compare the amount of hang time is Intimidator 305 and Fury 325. Those are the other coasters that I can compare this to when it comes to insane hang time on that drop. You pull through and you go through some great inversions fast. This thing is smooth, it is quick, it is all about the hang time. The drop, the inversions, and the lagoon roll. Oh my gosh, the lagoon roll. Oh my gosh, the hang time was great, being right over the water. And then the helix at the end was nice. It was really cool. You felt speed. And of course you got wet with the waterfall and you went through a rock canyon. This thing was great. It had a lot of theming, especially for a park like Lagoon. And it was fantastic. Oh my gosh. It was so good. So anyway, that wraps up my top 5 best roller coasters that I got to ride for the first time in 2016. Of course, next Saturday I'll be talking about the painful ones, the ones that were just so excruciating to ride, the 5 worst new coasters that I rode in 2016. Oh no. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out some footage of when I was going to these parks and seeing these roller coasters. Check out all those videos if you like roller coasters. And make sure, if you're new to this channel, like and subscribe for more if you like this video. And check out other videos like this one. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, roller coaster fanatics, keep coasting.